Hello, hello, hello. Oh, happy Sunday. Let's hit the right button. Happy Sunday, guys. Oh, I've missed you. Hello, hello. Let's see who is on. Hello, Loretta, and Alice, and Mary, and Lori. Hope you guys can hear and see me. Hi, Pat, Virginia, Ronnie, Donna Baker, Sue Braun, Leticia, Melissa Cordovano. Hello, my friend. Oh, you're in Arizona? Yeah, it's hot. That's a hot state, isn't it? Hello, Emma from Oregon. Hello, hello. Hi, Brenda, Janet, Kathy, Carol Manhart. So good to see you guys. Hi, Virginia. Yes, I've so missed you guys. Last Sunday, I just could not. I was up to here in prep, and I'm still up to here in prep, but I knew this week would be better to come and create and paint and maybe have a little more time. Not that I prepared a lot because we're going to wing it. So, hello, Dawn. Hello, Debbie Sears. Yes, I hated to miss. Oh, Karen Wilson, you have so been on my heart for like a month. And, you know, I saw something the other day and it said, if that happens, you need to reach out. And I so should have reached out. I hope you're doing well, my friend. So, but you've been on my heart. So, I hope you're doing well. Hope the kids are well. Oh my goodness. Hi, Veronica. So yes, it's been a little crazy. Getting ready for shows. Hi, Carol Adams. As you can see, I got about 5 inches cut off my hair from the last time we saw each other. From Houston, hi, Debbie. Hi, Pam. Hi, Donna. Donna, I just sent a huge box to Joanne for y'all's retreat. So a lot of fun little giveaways. So, hi, Eileen. Oh my goodness. So it's just so good to be back and be home in my studio. Make sure to like, comment, and share. And if you're just joining and you're new, I'm Sandy McTeer. Welcome into my studio. I am smack dab in the middle of the state of Georgia. Hello, Michelle. Thank you, Brenda. Yeah, it's, it takes some getting used to when you get that much cut off. And what's funny is on the last live I did, 2 weeks ago, my sister texts and she goes, oh my gosh, your hair looks so good. And I'm thinking, yeah, and I just cut 4 inches off or 5 inches off. It was more like 5. So, hi, Charlene. Hi, Debbie. So good to see you guys on. Yeah, so OKC was fantastic. The last live I did, we talked a little bit about OKC, or a lot as far as follow-up. So you can go back and check that one out. Hello, Elk. Good to see you. I'll be driving past you tomorrow. Oh, well, and then to Bristol. Are you going to the races? Or are you just going to Chattanooga? Hi, Nanette. Oh, I cannot wait to see you and Rich at NET. It's going to be so much fun. I have 3 of my 4 projects. The other one was in the other room, and I didn't have time to get it. But I'll share those with you guys. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there. I probably could have just brought it to NET, right? Instead of shipping it. Hello, Lydia. Oh my goodness gracious. So let me just tell you guys. Okay, I've not met her in person. But you know when you meet someone virtually and you disconnect and you like them a lot and Lydia May, if you do not follow her, please go follow her page. On Facebook, she is Lydia May dot Mandala, whatever you want to call it, artist, potato, right? Lydia, please put in the Facebook comments your business page. If that's your business page, great. Go follow her. She is incredible, amazing, so talented. I love dot art. I mean, there are so many artists out there that are incredible. Cindy Moore, but Lydia, next level. So go follow her, you guys, and make sure that you like her posts and follow her for content because she is amazing. So yes, we are kindred spirits, right? You know, you kind of meet those people and they're just like, yeah, I like them. We should be friends. I said that to my husband the other day. Something was online. I'm like, oh my gosh, I should contact them and say, we are totally friends. You don't know it yet, but we're going to be. So, hello, is it Chitra? Hi, Diane McKenzie. I hope you had a wonderful birthday. Finally feeling well enough to watch. Oh my goodness. You just had a birthday and you're not feeling great. Yes. Yep. 100%. Absolutely. So again, go watch and look for Lydia Mays. She's going to put it on the Facebook comments. Lydia, do you have a YouTube channel? Again, her and I, we've talked about collaborating, like me doing a design and her dotting it, because next level, her dotting. So, oh, thank you, Chitra, for being here. Love the tray. Oh, so the tray behind me. Thank you, Donna. I actually won that at OKC Painting Palooza. And let me just see if I can get it. I should have tried to get it before. It is a sturdy, hefty, very well-made tray. Over on the side of the country world, not country, but the world that I won't say, but it starts with an R and ends with Usha. But anyway, Trisha Joyner painted this in the Zostava style, and I don't know, I wanted a piece of Trisha's. I got a couple other pieces. My friend Carol Adams brought me the most amazing Happy Mail with, I think it's a bracelet and a ring. I think that's not a necklace, but I think it's a bracelet and a ring that had like flowers painted on it, a rose. Gorgeous. Let me put that back there without knocking everything off, because about an hour before I went live, I pushed my chair too far back and my SMD and everything else fell down. I'm like, oh my gosh. My husband goes, what was that? And I'm like, thank goodness that happened while I wasn't live, or we just would have improvised. So anywho, hello, Sherry Ann, Linda, and Peg. Who else do we have? Brenda. All right, you guys. And Debbie. I teach dot art on YouTube. So she does on YouTube. And then she will link her channel to Facebook, over on Facebook. But then go to my YouTube channel as well, Lydia, just under my name. And put your link there too, or comment so that they can come see your incredible, amazing work. So y'all know me. I am all about supporting and sharing things with y'all, that people, products, whatever. And especially when I find an artist that I think is just phenomenal and fantastic. So what is that with your nose? It just, someone's talking about, no, that's your ear. Is someone coming to visit me? I don't need any visitors right now. So hello, Janet. Oh my goodness. Yes, please do, Lydia. Go over to YouTube as well and just look up Sandy McTeer Designs and put your link in there for me. So I love dot art. I have some. Let me see if I have it here. Oh, I have one thing. The back of my hair was not pretty, but I did a YouTube video for Deco Art, a Facebook Live. I don't know how many maybe a couple of years, 3 years, 2 years. And I did that. And I shared it. I will just say it's repetitive. And as a painter, I so appreciate the detail and the work because it's a lot. It's not my thing. I love it though. So that's why when I reached out to Lydia and said, I'll paint something, you can dot it. So don't you think that would be fun to have me do some kind of design and then have her dot it? I mean, I think that would be fantastic. Hello, Kathy Pruitt. How is the weather over in Oregon? It is 85 degrees here still at, what, 4:15, almost 4:15. Thank you, Lydia. Well, I will say when I did the Facebook Live, I messed up and I missed a dot. And they didn't miss. They let me know. So, oh my goodness. Anyway, and I will say the dot art, that was one of the biggest classes at OKC this year, was Cindy Moore with her pumpkin dot art. So y'all dotting, don't discount the painting conventions because we want ya. Hello, Janet. Hello, Yvonne. How is the weather down under? It's 85 degrees here, but I'm thinking it's probably a little cooler in Australia, right? Hi, Anne. It happens, right? Or you do one and it doesn't look so great, so you have to remove it. Alrighty, guys, let's see. It is 4:12. So let's take care of some housekeeping business. So like I said, I wasn't here last week because I've been getting ready for net. I'm going to show you 3 of my projects that I'm doing. Again, the 4th one I left in the other room, unfortunately. But this is one of them. This is my collage steampunk palette. Again, all painted with DecoArt products, and I cannot wait to teach this. So there's still some room, not much room, but if you're going to New England traditions, and I do not have that in front of me, so let me see if I have it on here. I don't know. Let's see right here. Okay, so New England Traditions Convention in October is in Marlborough, Massachusetts. Those are the 4 classes I'm teaching. All right. But I don't have the link. If you just look up New England Traditions, it will come up. Okay, but I'm teaching this, and it comes with an easel that you can put it up on, and we're going to paint it exactly like the background. So it will fill in and look great. I want to move that so I don't ruin it because I have to travel with it. The next one is my holiday wreath. And so I love this one. I think there might be 2 spaces left in this class, if I'm not mistaken. It has done well, and it was kind of a, well, maybe I'll just put that one in. So that's always exciting when it's not a throw-in, but I love it. It's one of my favorite pieces. But you just never know how people are going to respond at conventions. So, alrighty. I did the dot art with Cindy. It was fun, especially since base coating was done for us. Absolutely. Okay, and then my 3rd of 3 of 4. Again, don't have the 4th. Thank you, Donna Poltz, newenglandtraditions.org. So I'm doing a blue and white pumpkin, and this is all about floating color. It's a very minimal palette, 3 colors, but I love it. And then I also did a version with some orange, which is a very big complementary color of blue, but also showing different ways that you could create that word if you wanted it to fit in your home decor with whatever color you have in your house. Okay, so I'm going to move that to the side. I am in that class. Thank you, Donna. Love that. Thank you, Debbie. I love the pumpkins. So I will say I submitted those to OKC and they weren't selected. And I was bummed because I thought it would have been great. I don't know why I'm yawning. Sorry. So, thank you guys. The other one is that B-Skep, which I think is too far down. Let me find it again. Yeah, I don't know. I need to put these things in order of how I'm going to show them, right? Okay, so y'all know that I love to do giveaways. So Happy Mail giveaways. All you have to do is like, comment, and share. The thing is, I will be doing a live. This is September, right? I will be doing a live next Sunday. 13th, 14th. I will be doing a live next Sunday. So all you have to do between now and next Sunday is like, comment, and share my post, my video, and your name will go onto the wheel for Happy Mail. Okay, and I send out things from people that support me, my businesses that I collab with, Deco Art and Dynasty Brush, and a couple others. And I always send out Happy Mail, hopefully within the week before. The thing is, if you do not give me or send me your address by my next live, those things go back into my Happy Mail giveaways because I can't hold on to them forever, right? So I know that that's kind of but at the same time, if you let me know your mailing address, I will get it off to you. Okay, and I have 3 fantastic Happy Mail giveaway products going out to you guys this week. First one is a new name, have not seen on the wheel, and that is Jen Roll. For some reason, I want to say I think I saw your name on and pulled your name from YouTube. The second one is Deanne Spradley, who I painted with at OKC. And the third is Diane Neely. So ladies, what you need to do is let me know your mailing addresses. I will get those shipped off to you this week. Lots of fun, cool goodies going away. I've got lots of messages coming up on my iPad here, so 70s here, yeah, 85 here. Found Lydia, and I am now following her work. It's beautiful and creative, right, Nanette? Yes. And then what did I see Suzanne Braun say? Was that Suzanne or someone up here? I can't remember where I saw that. Oh, Virginia, thank you. It was Virginia Hedges. She said, I love that you're so generous in showcasing other artists. You're a class act. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. My thing is, we have to tap into our creativity one way or another, right? So if painting an apple or a pumpkin or something steampunk, which I'm gonna do today, doesn't really fit your bill, dotting might. Glass paint might, embroidery might. If you're creative, that's what I want to share, and pull that creativity out of you. It's like, oh, y'all are so sweet. It's like a brush. Y'all know that I'm a Dynasty brush specialist. I love my Dynasty brushes. Could not paint and create without them. But I'm also a firm believer that if that brush doesn't feel right and it doesn't do what you need it to do, then maybe you need to find another brush, right? No need to find another paint or another brush because Dynasty and Deco Art, if you watch me create with them, you know that they're amazing. So let me just come right down here and show you. So this was my piece at OKC. The ladies that took my class got a journal, and we did the cover, and then we also did the steampunk hummingbird, which I love. Oh, y'all are so sweet. Thank you so much for going and following Lydia. She's amazing. So I know you guys are gonna love her work. Okay, and then that was the one we did with file icons. I've been on this steampunk kick. I don't know. Now, I will just tell you guys, sometimes when these things happen to me, they become like a big trend. and not necessarily right now, but it's building there. And I'm just going to tell you, you're probably going to see a lot of steampunk things, just like I told my group when we were doing the Old World Masters 4 years ago. Be on the lookout. Things are going to be about Van Gogh and Klimt and all those other people that I love. And so that's kind of how it's been. So we did this one in my group last week or the week before. Let me just move this to the side because in addition to that, I wanted to share some things that I have. I have a lot of new stencils, okay? And two of the stencils I have, this is SM 158, and this is all geared up SM 157. I think this is Gears Galore and all geared up. Those are the first two stencils my husband has named. And they are on my website right now. Okay, so we're going to play around with these, I think, today. I wanted to share also that I have in stock now, this is the 8 ounce, which I don't carry because they're not making it right now in 8 ounce, but I do have the 2 ounce, and I know that many of you have asked if it's back in stock. It is back in stock, 2 ounce, okay? The stencil binders, which has been a huge hit. And my supplier was finally able to get me some. So this is a 6x6 stencil binder. I think I have 20 in stock right now. Anyway, it holds all your stencils up to 50 or 100 if you're like me and pack it full. Okay. But I wanted to share with you guys, she is something artist. I can't see what that says. Oh, goodness. Thank you, Ronnie. Okay. So what I wanted to do was share with you guys. I had done, like I mentioned at OKC, a journal class, and I had an extra journal that I had prepared with gesso. So let me just show you. This is my favorite In and Out Grumbacher journal. I sell it on my website. And this year at OKC, I wanted to have them go out with a journal that had the cover already finished, okay? So I went ahead and prepped it with just gesso. Now, it reacted to some of that paint underneath or the pigment underneath. I did sand it a little bit, and then I came back with some gesso and with a palette knife left some of the things exposed and some not. If you took that class, I would love, love, love for you. I don't know over on YouTube if you can share a picture, but if you can share a picture on YouTube, or excuse me, on Facebook, if you took my class at OKC, I would love for you to share those. Ronnie Marks, Carol Adams, Loretta Bell. Here's a sip of water. All right, so we're going to move this aside for just now because I wanted to test some things. One, I already know works like a charm, and I shared it yesterday for the first time on my seminar that I did with the Boots and Brushes in Texas. So if you don't know, I do travel teach, and I will teach on Zoom. So let's go to the product that I'm talking about. I'm trying to find my palette, which is here. And it's my Gray Matters palette. We'll move that one to the side. I do carry this online. It is my favorite go-to palette. As I've shared with you guys before, when you get one, take this off, cut this out right here, and laminate it, or put packing tape on both sides and laminate it. But this is invaluable. This is a great resource. Now, before you tape or laminate these, what I would do is punch a hole. Punch a hole in it, because then you can lay it on top of something to see if you have the right color. Okay, so it's just a value scale. But anyway, my Gray Matters palette, and a product that I shared with you guys several months ago that DecoArt came out with is called Make It Thick. Now, what I wanted to see is, hi Barb, from a Ladies of Steampunk group. Oh, I love that. Hi Marlene. Yeah, so my friend Shannon sent me the steampunk design that we're going to do today, and she goes, can you do something with this? And I said, let me just put it in my app and kind of, you know, make it a little bit more color page looking. And I did, loved it. And I said, you know what, that's what I'm going to do today, in conjunction with showing you some things with Make It Thick. Again, I know one's going to work, the other I'm not sure, but we're going to try it. All right, now Make It Thick is a medium. It's an Americana Editions that DecoArt came out with. You can get this on their website. I do not carry this product, okay? But if you use, let's see if I have it here, right here, you can go to decoart.com and use SM25H2, not 1, H2. That will give you a 20% one-time discount, okay? So when I was playing the other day, I opened a bottle or a jar of gesso. Now, it's not this one. Sometimes if you have a gesso that's a little too thin, it might not do what you want it to do, okay? So when I opened that jar of gesso, I thought, you know what, that's a little on the thin side. Let me see if this can work. And I did, and it does. So I wanted to share that with you guys. So I'm going to take some of this gesso. Again, what I love about the media gesso is it doesn't have chunks in it. It is really nice and consistently thick. But I wanted this thicker for another reason. And so let me just move this up. I'll move that to the side. I wanted to get out, I think we will use, let me see what I'm going to use. I think I'll just use some Jack Richardson black paper, printing paper here. And let me just show you one without the Make It Thick. Okay, and I can go right over that gesso. Now, I will say this gesso is a little bit on the thicker side, okay? So I can get a really pretty design, right? Now, let's take a little bit of that gesso. Oops, hello. Move that over there. And I'm gonna mix, now this is 8-to-1. I'm not gonna use 8-to-1. I'm gonna use half that. So I'm going to do 4, and let's see how that goes. So if you have a gesso from any other company, and it's on the thinner side, and you want to make it thick, like an impasto, that's exactly what you're going to add to it. Okay? So I'm going to mix that. Now what it's going to do is it's going to make it more dimensional. It's going to make it a little crisper when you put that through a stencil. Oh, love, love, love. So look how thick and detailed that is, okay? It is a lot thicker than this one. So I loved that look. I could so see doing, you know, a vase of something, or not with the sweater pattern, but, and then adding a dimensional detail to it that you could paint. So the Make It Thick and the gesso work beautifully. Now, what you're going to want to do with your palette knife and your stencil is you're going to want to wipe them off, because that will take away over time the detail of your stencils. Okay, so this is, I don't know what it is, SM 101, 104, something like that. But I do carry this on my website. All right, let's move that to the side. And I'm just going to take this piece, but I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to use it for something else. All right. Now, let's see what we can do with the fluid acrylics. This is the one, this I had already played with and tested. And like I said, I shared with Boots and Brushes yesterday. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't shared this with anyone, but I'm so excited to share it with you guys. So we're going to see how well the fluid acrylics. Now, the thing with fluid acrylics is they do not have the solids in them that Americana does, okay? So you have solids and pigment in this. You have highly pigmented, and it's transparent and no solids. So let's see what we can do with this. I have not tested this. I'm hoping it works. So I'm going to put like 3 drops of quinacridone magenta, which is one of my favorite colors, and the Make It Thick. Now I'm going to start 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to start with the recommended for the Americana, okay? Acrylics that have a solid binding and that are a little bit more opaque. All right, even if the color is transparent, it still has solids in it that the media line does not have. So let's test this, and I might need to add some more. Okay, so again, this is the 8. And I will say it is thickening. Wow. Wow. Okay, so let's just put this, I just grabbed a errant little piece that I had sitting around. Let's just grab that and a stencil of some kind that I had here, and I don't right now, but we're going to get a stencil, don't worry. Oh, right here. I have one. Okay. It's not the greatest for this color, but look at that texture. This is a fluid acrylic that we can now turn into a thicker viscosity paint. Okay, and I'm just gonna do that with my finger to get it all in there. Wow. Okay, now let me just show you the difference. If I had done that with just the with just the paint and not the Make It Thick, let me show you what it will do. Okay, because it's so transparent and so thin, I am thinking that it's going to become very liquidy underneath that stencil, but we'll see. All right, what I love about this is that it gave it added dimension and texture to that piece. So let's see with just the fluid acrylics if I can come in and we're just gonna push that into those grooves. My stencil's down pretty well. Okay, you see the difference? It bled underneath the stencil. So if you have an amazing, fantastic favorite color in the media line, guess what? Mix it with a little Make It Thick, and you're going to be able to make that into a thicker paint and highly pigmented, which is the biggest thing. All right, so I'm going to move that to the side. Let's move that. I'm going to use that for something else. Okay. So let's go to my art journal. Now, I will just say The first person that orders an art journal on my website, the next person that orders a journal on my website is going to get this one. Let me just say that. Okay? So, we're going to move this to the side. I have things everywhere. Again, this is my Grumbacher In and Out. Love it because you can take the pages out, put them back in, create on it, and not have to worry about getting onto the next pages. But we're going to do the cover. And like I said, I had done the hummingbird and the butterfly, or no, excuse me, yeah, hummingbird and butterfly steampunk. And my friend Shannon, she was so sweet. She said, so I created this ladybug, and, you know, can you just put it into your app to get some kind of a drawing? And I'm like, absolutely. So if you do not subscribe to my newsletter at sandymcteerdesigns.com, let me just find that right there. If you do not subscribe to my newsletter, please do so. And I'm going to have this sent out tomorrow with my newsletter. Okay. So this is a really fun looking ladybug that Shannon sent me. And again, said, please share with your followers on your live, on your newsletter. And I'm like, you know what? Fantastic, because I have the perfect place to do it, which is today. So before we add this, so what I did is I just fussy cutted it out. I'm going to move that to the side. This has been gessoed. You can also prepare it with a little bit of multi-purpose sealer if you want to first. But what I'm going to do is just start adding some colors. And I want to do that technique of adding the gesso and then make it thick, because I think that would be really fun, don't you? So let me think for a second. Do I need to decoupage this on or do that? Let me just see where I'm going to decoupage that on. Actually, I think that's what I need to do first. So to decoupage it on, we're going to use some matte medium. This is the DecoArt Media matte medium. It is fantastic for so many different uses. My favorite, of course, is to adhere collage paper. You can do image transfers with this. You can completely seal your design with this. If you're like, oh, I want to add this stencil, but I don't know if I like that stencil. So add it to it. I don't think I'm going to add all of it, though. I think I'm just going to add some, like there and there. Okay. Now, the thing is, once you put that on, it's going to adhere. It is non-yellowing, which is one of my favorite attributes of this product. And it will seal it and allow us to continue to paint and create on top. It's not going to resist the paint, which is awesome, because we want to be able to create on the paper. If we did not do that on top and we just added it to the cover of the journal and not on top of the paper, our paint's going to stay exactly where we put it. All right. Now, another thing with this product that is key is you want to make sure that when you're done using it, that you wipe the rim with, I have a fragrance-free, perfume-free, lotion-free baby wipe. I use Huggies, and that way your lid is not going to stick to your jar. Okay, now let's dry this in place. I'm going to lift up these legs and let's just get that. And let's dry it with our heat tool. Oh, I love ladybugs too. When I was growing up, my mom loved ladybugs. That was her thing. I know. When my friend Shannon sent it to me, I'm like, absolutely, yes. I would love to share that with my community, my followers. So we're just going to dry this. Kathy McLean said, I got a happy box a few weeks ago and I loved it. So much fun. Aw, thank you, Kathy. Yes, and I appreciate your note too. I'm not going to wrap the legs around the corner. I'm actually going to cut them off. Sorry. I'm going to amputate them a little. And I could have made them smaller, but I just thought, you know, this will be fun to have a little on, little off. Now, the thing with matte medium is you definitely want to make sure that it's 100% dry. You can mix paint with matte medium to thin it out. Not my favorite technique, but you certainly could do that. I'm just using my Ranger heated tool. You hear nothing because it's so quiet. Hello, Chris Meyer. Just ordered a journal. Aww. Oh, Michelle, I hope you got it. Again, first person that ordered a journal is getting this one, and I hope it turns out. And if it doesn't, Michelle, you can let me know, or whoever else gets it. All right, let me just cut these off. In addition to getting ready for the net convention and lessons with my membership group, I'm also like working on OKC submissions and the Art Expo submissions for Trussville, Alabama. I'm going to post all these. They're also on my website. But I don't know that a lot of people really know when they go to paint at a convention that we get these things in so soon after the convention. So it's just like, no, we just got done teaching and now I got to submit something. But my brain has been in overdrive and I have many things in the works for those. So I just want to make sure that these, since I cut them off, are down and stuck on the journal and not to my mat here. All right, so let's dry this. Oh, thank you so much, Michelle. No, I don't carry the Make It Thick. You can get that at decoart.com. What else is that? Yeah, ladybugs are just, I guess they're kind of that lucky, right? That lucky 7. Again, it's just one thing that my mom collected or liked a lot when I was growing up. Whereas me, let me just come up here and see if you guys can tell. It's gonna be a little cheeky real quick what I collect. So I found this the other day on clearance at Hobby Lobby and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to have that. So Hello Kitty headband, which I don't need, but anywho. So let's come right back down here. But I loved it, so I could not. Did OKC set dates for submissions? So yes, OKC does have submission, and I want to say it's in October. Hello, Lynn. Oh, you're going to the expo. I love that, Donna. Oh, yeah, I'm so looking forward to the expo. Okay, so this is pretty much dry. I would say almost all dry because again, we don't want to go over matte medium when it's wet. And I'm just going to play around with some things, okay? I love my hummingbird and my butterfly that have just a little bit of color here and there. So that's probably what I'm going to do just to make it part of the grouping. I do have my hummingbird online, but not my butterfly because that's with my membership group. Okay, so I'm gonna just get this 1-inch black gold flat wash. I'm gonna get it wet. You could also use a Mr. Spritzer bottle. Again, I sealed it with the gesso. And then let's just add some color here and there. I think I'm gonna work with some media line, okay? So some of the cobalt turquoise hue, if you're not familiar with the media line, I carry it. It is my favorite go-to paint. It is highly pigmented, very transparent for the most part. Not all the colors in the line are transparent, but I would say 90% are. And they are just fantastic. So I'm just going to put some color here and there, but not everywhere. And where the gesso didn't cover, like the blue from that journal, you're going to get a totally different look, okay? So I'm just going to pick up a little more. And while I have an angle brush, it's on the whole brush. Let's mist that with a little bit of water. I'm going to grab my paper towel. And my mister went somewhere, so let's grab that. So I'm just going to mist it with some water and let that color flow and move. I wish, and I actually could. In fact, I should just show you how to do that, to take the cover off. Maybe on another live. I don't want to do that right this second. But you can remove that cover. And if you've got an art journal or a journal that doesn't have an in and out, I do have a YouTube video that shows you how to take your pages out. Okay, so let's dry this. Anywhere it's real thick, I'm just going to remove it. Oh, sorry, Cindy. I hope you're feeling better. Hello, Anne. I hope you are feeling better. So many things going around right now. All right, so let's just come in here with a little bit more water. Move that around. I'm going to grab some paper towel because I don't want it to get on the back, but if it does, that's okay. I'm a firm believer, especially when I'm working in my art journal, that if it gets somewhere, it's meant to be there. Okay, so let's dry this. Not all the way though. Right. I've taken the cover off too that way, Michelle, and it did not work well. However, I will hopefully try when this is dried, show you guys how to do that. Okay. So before it's all dry, we're going to come in with, rinse my brush out. Now, let me just show you. That's still so colorful and pigmented, and I used very little. I put out enough for all of us watching right now how to do it. How much paint? Very, very, very little, okay? So I want this to be a little on the steampunk-ish side, so I'm going to use some quinacridone gold, which is a very rusty color. And I'm going to get my number 12 flat wet and work that in. And I'm actually going to just splatter that. I don't care about the back cover. You can always gesso and paint the back cover. All right, so what I'm going to do now is lift it up and mist it and let it spritz and move. And it's going, these colors together, oh, if those aren't steampunk colors, that and gold, love, love, love. Okay, so I'm going to spritz a little bit of water down that way and hold it up and down, but then also to the side, up and down, in. And then before I lay it down, I'm going to wipe just to make sure that I don't get that all over the back cover. But again, if I do, it is what it is, and I will paint it. So again, just kind of lift up, let those colors move. Hello, Marilyn. Hello, Kay. Again, I'm just going to use my finger while that's still wet. Move it around. Okay. I'm going to come back in with that 12 flat. And I'm going to pick up some paint, and I'm deliberately going to put that paint here and there because I do want it to show up. Let's lift that up and let it flow and move. It's kind of hard to show it when it's flowing and moving, right? But we're going to get there. All right, let me just move some of that. That's one great thing about putting it on too, is if you're like, oh, that's so dark, that water is going to thin it out and make it move and flow sometimes where you want it, but not necessarily all the time. I'm just going to lift some of this color out because I do want some gold and red and black in here. All right, let's dry this real quick because like I mentioned, I do want to come in with that gesso and make it thick and create some gears here and there that we can add to the background. It's going to take a minute. Oh, Marilyn Healy, thank you so much for the stars. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So when you guys do stars on YouTube, or excuse me, on Facebook, and you do the $sign over on YouTube, that money goes to the World Central Kitchen, who is feeding hungry people around the world. A great, great cause. And I just think that Andre is amazing. So any way I can help. All right, so just a little bit more water. This is paper, guys. This is cardboard, and you see how it's holding up. All right, so that gesso is going to seal it and allow me to just abuse it with water and paint. Let's let this drip. I like kind of a grungy look, but not too grunge. And, you know, with steampunk, it can go grungy, but it also can be very grunge with more artistic stuff going on, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're just gonna dab that. And then before you dry anymore, because I need to dry this, I'm gonna take some of that gesso and my palette knife and take some of the, make it thick. Now with this, because it's a fluid, like it's very liquidy, I'm gonna make a little bit of a well right there on my gesso. 3, 4. So I did 4, maybe 4.5 or 5. But we want to mix that in. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. It is like frosting, which Decor also has in the Love Color line. But I'm going to take this and let's see which stencil I want to use. I think I'm going to use this one here, and we're just going to go right over. And I don't care if it's super detailed as much as just the look of gears. Okay, so we've got there, and I don't think I want it on the ladybug. Then we'll come here and put some, and then just use your finger and spread it around. Okay. Ooh, love that. All right, and then I do need, let me wipe this off because I don't want to contaminate my gesso, but I do need a little bit more, and we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, it's a thick enough gesso that I could put it over the stencil, but I want it a little on the thicker side. So we're going to do that, and let's come over here and do some right here. Ah, yes. Okay, again, you want to wipe this off really well. See how that really went into all those little nooks and crannies? You want to make sure that you wash it off, wipe it off, so that you still have the detail on that stencil. I'm just going to move it over to my little water basin, and let's take care of this and this. And then let's take care of that. All right, and I'm just going to take my finger because I don't like to see like a stencil that just kind of ends. So I just want to float that or brush it into with my finger where it kind of tapers off into the rest of the design. So let's dry that. That does make me a paper abuser, Kay. Yes. And the thing is, if it doesn't hold up, I'm not going to use it. So the Grumbacher In and Out Journal, my absolute favorite. 7x10 is my favorite size. It is what I use and have used since the pandemic when, you know, we were unable to get things. Started my membership group with the thought that, okay, everyone can just create in an art journal, order it online, hopefully you'll get it, instead of having 50 or more surfaces. And it's worked out great. So, but I do want to make sure all this is dry before we add any paint, because when you go to move this gesso, if it's still wet, it's going to move. All right. Hello, Georgia White. So good to see you on. I hope you got my email. So for y'all that do my newsletter on my website, I'm embarrassed to say that I haven't sent one out since June, I think. July was busy getting ready for OKC. OKC was busy in August because, you know, that convention. And tomorrow I finally have a newsletter going out. So I will just tell you guys, I pay way too much money not to do a newsletter once a week, but it's just about time. Time. Which none of us seem to have enough of, right? All right, so I'm just going to lift this up. Again, have no clue where this is going. My friend just sent me this the other day, and I'm like, ooh, that'll be good for Sunday. Again, just kind of lift it up. I'm lifting it up because it will sweat through the cardboard or paper, and you want that heat to go all the way through. Yes, Loretta, I will share the Ladybug steampunk with you guys tomorrow. I'm going to send it out on my newsletter. So if you don't subscribe to my newsletter, why does an ad keep pop? Oh, I don't know, Kay. Are you on the live or are you watching? What is the number of the cog stencil? So that one was SM158, and it's under What's New. If you go to What's New on my website, you will see all the new stencils that I came out with for OKC. Alrighty, let's take care of some little things that we want to highlight a little more, and I'm going to find a 3/8 angle and some Payne's Gray. I probably even could use some raw umber, but I think I'm going to use Payne's Gray. We'll see. Which one is this? This is Payne's Gray. Oops. You're so welcome. Bye, Yvonne. Take care. Right, Donna? It is. And as much as I so want to do them weekly, I just can't. Okay, so 3/8 angle. This is my faux squirrel angle. Now let me just tell you guys, if you have and love, like me, the DecoArt Traditions brushes, the same filament in these is in the faux squirrel. All right. So while a lot of these are no longer available, which is just crazy to me, you can get the faux squirrel and it's the same filament. It's going to operate and perform the same. All right. So I'm going to take my 3/8 angle, come over here. If you're not familiar with an angle, we are going to come in right here and just work that into the toe. Thank you, Robin Richer. Hope you're doing well, my friend. And work that in. And we're going to come right up underneath here. And I'm just very loosely floating that color right up underneath those legs. All right. And then we've got one down here. Just kind of got lost. And then we will just float that right along that left side, kind of thinking that my light's coming over here from about 1 to 2 o'clock, if you will. So we want to make this nice and rich and dark. But I'm also going to then mist that with water because I want it to bleed. Again, we're going for that steampunk look. So we're just going to let that flow and move. We'll lay that down. So see how just even that, how it bled into those gears is really adding to the whole effect and look. So this is very wet and my background is wet. So it's going to just flow and move. And I'm not even worried about anything going on over here except for the legs that we can see a little bit of. So remember, we cut those off. Cut there and there and there, but you don't see a lot of it. Now let's rinse that out, come back in. Airhead. Hello, Chrysavola. You're not an airhead, my friend. You're just busy. Busy, busy. All right, so I'm going to come in, but I'm so happy you're here. We're going to come right into the ladybug here and just put a little bit of Payne's Gray, which is my go-to favorite color. If you have no other color in the media line, Payne's Gray is the one that you want. All right, and soften that look so it's not as dark. Okay, but I do want to make this nice and dark. So I loved when she sent me this, and I thought, oh, I love where these gears are. So we're going to pronounce those a little bit more. And Shannon, thank you so much. I don't know if you're watching. I think you said you had your granddaughter's birthday to attend to, but if you are, I'm so thrilled that you shared this with me and I could send it to my community because they're gonna love it. They're gonna love painting it. All right, let's dry that. Hello, Lucy. Thank you, Donna. Give Rich a big hug for me. All right, we just want to dry some things. Then let's come in, and I do want to make these a little more pronounced because I'm going to do a wash. I keep going into a part of my paper towel that has white, which is not great. We don't want white. We want Payne's Gray. And we're going to just float almost like we would do a water droplet. We're just going to float that U stroke at the bottom. And a U stroke there. We'll get a U stroke there. That's a little on the wide side, Sandy, but that's okay. We're going to leave it. I definitely want to see it. So Payne's Gray, and you see me working it in on the toe only. So when you have the color on the toe only, where you place the toe is where the color's gonna go. Did you hear that rap and rhyme? Where the toe goes is where the color is gonna go because that's where you have the color. We don't have it on the heel, we just have it on the toe. And remember, if floating is not your favorite thing to do, give yourself a pep talk and say, oh, we get to float today. Yay. I was telling my group yesterday, you know, when you put that in your mindset and come to it with a positive outlook that, oh, I get to float color today versus, oh, I have to float color today. So what I am going to do is come back in with just a little bit darker Payne's Gray along some of these little nooks and crannies on the legs. Yeah, I'm also giving those time to dry. In here, if you wanted to, you could always come in and accentuate some of these or lay that stencil in place and go over it with a little bit of that make it thick, although that's not what I did because she did this drawing for me. I don't have that exact gear, but you could improvise. Okay, so we've got that, and we're going to get nice, rich shadow there. And there. side. Alrighty, so let's, hi girl. Oh, I haven't seen you on for a while. So glad you're here. 3 projects ready to submit. 1 more to go. Oh, I love that, Laura. I need to, whew, I need to get my submissions done and in. Alrighty, guys. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take a little bit of, oh, I need to figure out where that's coming from. Every time I wipe my brush, I pick up gesso. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of quinacridone gold. I'm just going to lay that in. Okay, so it's on the toe of the brush, but it is migrating over a little because I have water on my brush. Do that about half. Okay, let's dry this. And actually, while that is drying, I think we're going to come up here and finish this other area, which has quinacridone gold. And then let's mist it. Remember we put that make it thick and gesso on that area, which is, oh, I love. If you've got modeling paste will work very similar to that. But I just love the fact that I can mix that make it thick with the gesso and maybe not have to have the modeling paste. Then we're going to do some of the cobalt turquoise hue up in here. And then let's mist that. So how many of y'all, and leave it in the comments if you do, are addicted, like me, to Great British Bake Off? It just started. New season. I know Laura Habestraw is. Right? Sue Braun, I love to float. I did not for a long time, but it's one of those things that just takes practice. The more you do it, the better you will get. However, you will have days that it just is off, and that's okay. All right, so I just put a little bit more of the quinacridone gold. We're going to lift it up. I love, love, love. Hi, Anne. Go and enjoy your company. I love Great British Bake Off. And having lived there for 6 years in England, let me just tell you guys, when we got off the plane from Iceland with 3 young kids, 7 months, 1 year, and 2 years old, or not even, my neighbors were absolutely amazing and brought us like strawberry rhubarb, and we had garden parties, and they were, he was a jeweler for Harrods. Well, he was an independent jeweler, but he did some things with Harrods. And so we went to a lot of like benevolent society, Masonic benevolent society events. And that was incredible. Robbie Burns night. But when we got off the plane the first time, I told my husband, I kind of feel like I'm home. Because when your great-grandmother and your great-grandfather come from Glasgow and Nottingham, England, you kind of feel a connection, right? So, all right, let's just dry this because I want to get some red, a little bit of Payne's Gray. I like Payne's Gray versus black because I find it less harsh, okay? And then, of course, gold. So before I dry this completely, I do want to get one of my favorite metallics in, and that's metallic gold. And so we're going to take, let's see, I've got a 12 flat. We're going to get it really, really wet. See there on the right of the screen? I'm going to get it very, very inky. And I just have a pencil. Okay, see how it's separating? Oh, I love that. Because this is metallic, it has a little bit more weight to it than the regular paints, so it is going to cause that paint to move. We'll use a little more gold, but let me just dry this. Hello, Patrick. Bonjour, how are you? Oh my gosh, Loretta Bell. Do you not know about British Bake Off? You've got a lot of binging to do, because they've got a lot of seasons and they're all amazing. All right, I'm just going to lift this up and hopefully you can see the gold. Oh, love that. And I am going to come back with that or some metallic luster, which I shared with my group that I was painting with yesterday. Just some really cool ways to use it. It's one of my favorite products. If you're not familiar, you can make this into a liquid. If you like to do watercolor, you can change it into a very soupy, watery consistency from the paste. And I will share that with you guys. But let me see if I can at least get the hint of that gold. That metallic gold and silver, guys, in the media line, probably some of my favorite metallics ever. They're so pigmented. All right, let's come in. I see a little bit of wetness there. I want to come in with some red. I'm trying to decide if I want to do red or cinnamon drop, true red. Namthal red was kind of on my radar. Oh, I love strawberry rhubarb. Oh my goodness. I loved living in England when my kids were younger because, again, I think that's why I have a mathematician, an economist, and a finance CPA, and aeronautical engineer. It's because they all went to school in England. So I think it might be on Netflix, Nanette. If you've not seen it, oh my gosh. Okay, I think I'm going to start out with a lighter red, and then let's go into a deeper red. Okay, now, watermelon slice is one of my favorite lighter reds. However, it can go very pink. So I'm going to rinse my number 12 flat and get some of that just on the corner. And I just want to bring that in here and there, but not everywhere. And I can already tell that, yeah, it's not going to be everywhere. Because it's very pinky. A little more coral than I want. So let's mist that and let it drip. Netflix. Okay, great. I've watched it on PBS. Ah, yeah. I love the, what is that? Escape to Chateau or whatever, to the British couple that has the chateau in France. There are many, I know, right now on HGTV. And I told my husband, don't you just want to buy a chateau? And he's like, If I knew how to do all the things that we could do with it, then yes. But no, because he's handy, but not like flipping handy, I should say. Flipping a house or flipping a castle or flipping a chateau. I was gonna grab, no, I didn't though. Thought maybe a fun word of create or whatever, but we're good. I'm just gonna move this around. Again, watermelon slice, fantastic color, right? Okay. Now I am gonna use, do I wanna use that or do I wanna use that? I'm trying to decide. So we bought a castle. Yes, Marilyn, I have, and I loved it. So do we use Traditions, Namthal Red, or do we use, let me see if I have it here. Right, Suzanne, I totally agree. Or do we use one of these? I'm going to let you guys help me. Quinacridone Red, Pyrrole Red, or Namthal Red in Traditions. So, Nanette, the ladybug is going to go out on my newsletter tomorrow. I'm also going to share it in the membership group page, so you don't have to worry about finding it. All right, tell me which color you guys think. Pyrrole Red, Quinacridone Red, which Pyrrole Red to me is a little more, red, or Namthal Red. Let's see. Let's go with Quinacridone Red first, which Michelle recommended, Traditions. And then, yes, I'm going to go with Traditions on that. Okay, guys, and you can tell I haven't used this color in a while. If you have these, peel them off, stick them in a jar, or throw them in the trash. I remember I went to a painting convention one time, and someone had a necklace made out of these. The thing is, when they're on there, like this, has been on there forever, you can't close it. You don't hear it snap, right? Whereas with this one, you hear it snap. This is going to save your paint. So, all right, let's come to, I have it all over me. Would not be a sandy play time without some kind of paint on me, right? And my Band-Aid, sorry, my fingernail broke off. My Band-Aid's gone. All right, let's just get this number 12 flat wet, and I'm going to come in with the Quinacridone Red, which I think is a great choice. And then I think I'm still going to use some of the Traditions. Okay, let me find my water bottle. And Michelle, at any point, if you change your mind, you don't want this journal, you can always tell me. Okay, let's get that off. And then let's kind of move it to this side. So we've got it on that side. We'll get it over to this side. All right. Then I am going to take that paper towel, as if. Oh, you're too sweet. But I'm going to take that paper towel and just kind of dry it off a little bit. And I most likely will add a little stain, but I don't know what yet. Hello, Judy. I have paint all over from painting earlier today. I love that, Sue. I'm sorry. If you don't have painting on your fingers when you're done, you did not have enough fun. All right? Okay. So let's come in with our 3/8 angle and Naphthol. I said those two words together. Naphthol red in Traditions. All right, we just want to get a little bit deeper red in here. Such a fantastic color. If y'all don't use the Traditions and you're looking for a little brighter and thicker viscosity of paint, the Traditions are fantastic. Okay. So I'm just going to bring that around. It's going to be lighter over here, which I love. And then we're going to take some of that Payne's Gray. And I did underneath, but now I'm going to do on those dots. You can also come in and stencil. I am going to come in and stencil with the steampunk stencil I have, so that will help. All right, let's just let it flow and move. I'm just letting that red kind of flow down, but it's going to be heaviest on that left side, which I love. And let's dry this. Don't bug me. Oh. I love that. Yeah, I have quite a bit of Tim Holtz stuff on very reduced prices, so. I think when I do these, I'm going to do them in gold, and I might even use some of these smaller ones. Just want to dry, dry, dry. Okay, so let's get... I think I will do that 3/8 angle in Payne's Gray, and we're going to paint these a little bit more, not solid, but a little bit more like ladybug spots, right? Because unless I can find, let me see if I have it right here. I do. It's M265A. So stencil line I do with Tracy Morrow. Now these are a little more on the oval side, but we could get them with a little bit more round. Oh yeah. Okay. Let me. Traditions are amazing. They are an artist quality pigment, not a student quality pigment, and just very underrated. Very, very, very underrated. All right, so again, Payne's Gray. We'll go there. I'm just doing the spots. Too big. Right there's perfect. And then we will highlight those so they stand out a little bit. But let's just come up to here. The circle shape makers are fantastic for doing berries or ladybug dots, things that you need to make very circular, but don't want to have to worry about it being too circular. You can use a stencil. Payne's Gray. Okay, and I think that one is going to be smaller. Oh yeah, love, love, love. Okay, now let's come back up here to the eyes. I think we're going to do that one and this one. Alrighty. Let's dry everything. Oh, forgot that one. Hello. I was letting the other one dry. Let's get that one in. Okay. I know, right, Judy? I always have paint on me, and I love it. Okay. So I am going to come in with, I feel like it needs some of this. I feel like it needs, sorry, wasn't it there at the beginning? So it is a drawing, Patrick, that my friend Shannon shared with me, and I will have it in my newsletter tomorrow, but I'm also going to put it in the membership group tomorrow. So no need to go search for it. Okay. So we're going to do some red neon. So it's fiery red. I'm going to just put that kind of here and there. I need to get this a little more defined. I think it kind of went away when we did some water before. Hello, Elizabeth. Thank you, Karen. Aw, thanks, Judy. I think thanks, right? Hodgepodge of a mess. All right, I do want to come in, I think, with some gold. So metallic gold. Again, just got this and the silver back in stock. I'm going to put some on the toe of my angle brush. Work that in on the toe only. And I think I'm going to put that right here. And let's come in with, where's it at? It's right here, my mop brush. So right where it leaves off, just want to kind of soften that look. Nope, too hot when that one grabbed. So let's get that off there. One thing when you're using the heat tool, you want to make sure that your paint doesn't, or that the page or whatever you're on surface isn't too hot. If it is, your paint's going to stay there, stick there, and not move, like that one right there. And in here, we're just going to put a little bit of gold. Use our finger to swipe it around. Oh, I love that, Janet. Ladybug, ladybug, fly away home. And in England, a ladybug's called a ladybird, which is always kind of been a little crazy, but okay. So this is the Namthal Red. Oops, this page is still hot. I'm gonna do Namthal Red. Namthal Red there. And then I didn't wash my brush out or wipe it off. I just picked up a little bit of Payne's Gray. Then I'll come back with a little bit of gold. Again, on those legs that you see over there. A little bit more gold on the 3/8 angle, and I'm going to float that right along above that dark. And I think I'm going to do the same thing right along here. Just seems like it needs a little separation. And silver, gold. Gold very much when it comes to steampunk, although silver is my preferred. Those have been alrighty, guys. So I'm going to come back in with some of that Payne's Gray and just define these a little bit more. Again, remember, we're just playing. Whether you are a very structured dot artist or oil painter or stroke work or whatever the case may be, give yourself permission to play and create so that you get out of that little box that you're in and explore the things that can work in creating. You just might surprise yourself. I surprise myself all the time, like I did with that gesso and make it thick. It really did what I was hoping it would do, and that's kind of where my brain goes when I am using a different product or a new product is, I wonder what else I can do with this. All right. I'm thinking we're gonna kind of be done. I want to put some of that neon red up here. I don't know why, but we're gonna do it. And then let it flow and move. And then we'll do the same thing over here. And where it goes into those grooves of where we did that gesso and the make it thick. Oh, so cool, right? Okay, so we're almost done. I want to get some highlights in here with some white. Oh, Chris, thank you for sharing the whole poem. All right, let's just try this. Again, it's supposed to be kind of grungy and artistic and not real ladybug-ish. It's a steampunk ladybug. All right, let's just try this enough that I can come in with, that one's got too much paint. But I want to come in with, yep, okay. And then some Payne's Gray. Oh yeah, that did nothing. We need white or silver or gold. So we're going to use gold. Let's work it in on our paper towel. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. I don't know if you guys can see that well, but it's perfect. Okay, and then let's go into, I wish I had the same exact stencil for her drawing, my friend Shannon, but I just mixed a little bit of gold and some Payne's Gray to get that right there, and we'll come over to here. Okay. And then let me look. Payne's Gray. Toe of the brush. We're going to go right around here. then I'm sure ladybugs have tiny little things like that. Go above. And then we will go on the other side. Okay, let's just dry this. That's the thing with winging it, right? It's just, it evolves, it moves, it grows, it does all the things. I'm loving where it's going. Yes, ladybirds. Okay. Just gonna dry everything. And I do think I'm gonna use, I can't remember who suggested it, but let me come up and look. Oh yes, Marilyn. So on the raised bits, we're going to use some, I think I'm going to use this, which is the Brilliant Turquoise Metallic Luster. And we're just going to work that in on our finger. I'm going to work it in on my palette so that I have it flattened. And we're going to just brush on some of this color. Ooh, it's still a little too wet. Let's dry that nicely. So this metallic luster you can add while it's a paste, or you can add it while it is wet with your brush, and you can add it to your pieces as a splatter. If you are a watercolor artist, you can add that to your seascapes, or the green and gold and reds and all the other colors they have. You can add those to dragonfly wings, ruby-throated hummingbirds. And the thing is, I can still spritz it and mist it and get it to move like a paint, even though it's a paste. And what it leaves behind is the most brilliant mica color and shimmer and shine that is just out of this world. And I'm going to use a little bit of the White Frost Metallic Luster on that angle brush. And we will get a little on the legs, just to make them stand out a bit more, since they've got the dark. And then, oops, a little too far, a little highlight. So this was kind of winging it and out there, right? Oops, didn't do gold on that one. Okay, I do feel like we need a little more red right over some of those pieces. So guys, don't forget when you're watching my lives on YouTube and also on Facebook that after 30 days, they go away from Facebook, okay? So you're gonna wanna make sure that you are following my or subscribing to my YouTube channel so that you can continue to watch all the content that we're making. Otherwise, it's kind of gone, all right? From Facebook. So I would have paid for storage had they come out with that. All right, I'm going to add some kind of a sentiment to this. Leave it, probably tweak it a little bit more. But let's just put this to the side because I have one other thing I want to show you. Okay, and I probably, like I said, I'll tweak that a lot for whoever got it. With your metallics, so let's just do white frost metallic. And I'm going to pick it up with an angle brush, just because that's what I had right there. A little bit of water. You can also look on YouTube for a way to reconstitute these. Do not throw them away if they're dry. There is a video on YouTube that is fantastic to show you how to reconstitute them. Okay, so this is a paste, but I can turn it into a liquid. Okay, now I can take this paste and I can bring it over here and I can mix it with a touch of red and I can make that now into a red metallic. Okay, or rinse that out, come over here, mix it in, a little bit of the blue, and I can make a blue metallic. Okay, so I love, love, love. Let me find another piece of paper. Aw, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, that ladybug needs a little work, but we're gonna work on her. So, all right, let's just do a little bit of blue and a little bit of green with that metallic luster. Again, you can use it like a paint. So I'm going to take that 3/8 angle, work it into, let's do a leaf. All right, look how beautifully pigmented that metallic luster is. Okay, I'm going to show you probably one of its most intended uses in a second. But you can take that and work it into your brush and turn it from a paste into a liquid. It's amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So let's just, okay. Now with the metallic luster, taking things that are dimensional. So let me find, and now I have it here because I put it here on purpose and I just lost it. Oh, right here. Okay, so when it comes to using the metallic luster, one of its most intended uses is for dimensional areas. So whether you're using a frame, I can work that teal into a paste that will make that stand out even more. Okay, things that are dimensional. You can use your finger, you can use a soft cloth, but it's just going to bring out the things that are dimensional. Okay, so one of my favorite products ever Let me see if this is dry enough that I can come in with that green, or maybe even a little blue. Oh yeah. So see how that's picking up the, work it into your finger just like you would a angle brush or something. And it shows the dimension and it picks up on those raised bits. Oh, love that. Alrighty, guys. So, this is another one that with the metallic lusters, the green on that black is just phenomenal. So, don't be afraid to thin it down, water it down a little bit, mix them. That blue one's a little on the thick side, so we're going to mix it down to a liquid and just let it flow and move. Love, love, love that product. Okay, so the other thing, let me see if I have, nope, oh, yep, I have that. So let me show you, let me find this stencil if I have it still. Too many ideas today. I will say that. I went in today knowing I had too many ideas, but we're going to put that right over it, okay? And let's just do the green. Since we have that, I'm going to run my finger over it. Do it right over that stencil. It does not have to be, I could do it on the white or I can do it on the black, and I'm going to show you in a minute. Okay, and so you can get that, or you can come here and work that in. Again, work it across your palette there. And I have a little blue and green on my finger. Oops, hello. Hello, hello. That did not work. So we're going to just use blue. And what it's going to give you is a very shimmery, shiny look to your stencil. Now, don't discount that. Get it wet, like I said. You can make it into a very inky, watery, think of waves and clouds and hints of touches here and there. Let me see if I have this handy to show you. I do. I think I have it right here. That I used that white frost years ago. I did a class, and so you see the white right here? That's the white frost. Okay, so it's the white frost metallic luster and watered down to get that organza ribbon look, and then outlined with the white frost to make it look like ribbon, right? But look at the shimmer and shine on that. Absolutely phenomenal. And that was with the white frost. Alrighty, guys. Thank you, Connie. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, like I said, I had way too many ideas, more so than I have. And then my friend Shannon said, oh, you should do this. So I will go and look and see whoever got the first journal order in. I'm going to tweak this a little bit. I will share pictures with you guys online. Got a little wayward here and there, but I want to make it pretty. So, alrighty, guys, get those brushes out. Do something creative. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back next Sunday. 4 p.m. and hopefully we'll have something new and creative to share with you. In fact, I know I will. So appreciate you guys so much for being here. Do not forget to get those brushes out, that paint out, do something creative, and let the art wash away all the dust of your life, right? And then also don't forget, leave a little sparkle wherever you go. I had someone the other day when I opened the door, and she's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And she said, oh, I love your hair. And she said, oh, where did you get your shirt? And that little compliment, I was just like, oh my gosh, I went to my car feeling so happy. So don't forget to give those things. And the other thing is, don't forget to give yourself permission to play. Play with your products, play with your brushes, play and see and explore what those things can do. You just might surprise yourself. All right. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you being here.